number. 94% is good. So there's still people coming through.
Yeah.
And there's probably still people coming through that are criminals.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, like, you got to get scared that people who are not criminals are getting, like, lassoed up and deported and sent to, like, El Salvador prisons. Like that kind of.
Yeah.
Because I read some story. Was it Glenn Greenwald?
It was.
Yeah. The gay barber guy.
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Is that true? Is that story accurate?
I don't think we
Can
know.
you explain the story for people that don't know?
Well, from what I read, I think it was in Time magazine, Jamie, if you can pull it up, and maybe we can get it accurate. But basically, with a bunch of these Trinidad guys, allegedly they got at least one guy who wasn't a criminal, who was just a gay barber, who I think, according to the story, came here legally. He was here legally. That's what they said. Don't know if it's
did
true.
he have a green card?
I don't know what the details are. Maybe Jamie can.
True that Obama deported people without due process? I don't know. I'd have to see. I don't know what that is a reference to.
Find it.
No criminal record.
From what it said in that story. Now, this is the problem, right? Because the mainstream media has been putting out so much shit that I don't know what to believe anymore.
The
right?
mainstream media, guys.
And so it's difficult, but it's something that we actually brought up in one of our conversations. We interviewed the guy from the Heritage Foundation. We brought this up because I think we talked about this with Doge as well. When you do things quickly and you do things aggressively, that's how you get shit done. But that's also when mistakes get made.
Right.
And I think a human being plucked out of nowhere and ending up in a country he's never been in a maximum security prison with gang members, seems like a bad thing to happen to me.
Maybe,
horrific.
yeah. It might be.
It's horrific.
It might be
I don't think that should be controversial.
might be kind of
that's not
bad.
controversial at all. And this is the thing, you know, measured twice, cut once.
Yeah.
This is kind of.
I don't like it when this happens a lot on these podcasts, and it's one of the reasons why I just find it so deplorable when people say like, "Oh, these are good for long-form conversations because we can have conversation we wouldn't normally have." Okay, you ever notice this happens so much in podcasts where somebody will say something and then somebody like kind of agrees, but then somebody will say something else and it's directly contradictory to what was just said, and then they all just kind of nod along and agree again. Like, what happened there? It's not Kirsten Kissen. Constantine just said the only way to get shit done is to do it really fast. But then Joe Rogan just said, yeah, and we should also like measure twice and cut once. You realize those are two completely contradictory ways of approaching things, right? But we just all kind of like nod along. I hate it when this happens in these shows. It's fucking annoying as fuck.
Security prison with gang members seems like a bad thing to happen to me.
It's horrific. It's horrific.
I don't think that should be controversial.
No, that's not controversial at all. And this is the thing, you know, measured twice, cut once.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy that could be possible. That's horrific. And that's bad for the cause. Like, the cause is let's get the gang members out. Everybody agrees. But let's not innocent gay hairdressers get lumped up with the gangs. And then, like, how long before that guy can get out? Can we figure out how to get him out? Is there any plan in place to alert the authorities that they've made a horrible mistake and correct it?
Well, if you think about it from a government perspective, and this is where I think it gets quite sinister, is once you've done that, the incentive structure is never going to be to admit that and deal with it. The incentive structure is to say nothing, to cover it up, to pretend it didn't happen, right?
That is horrible.
So someone ends up in a black hole. But we've seen it. We've seen it in every country, including in America.
But that's the thing about politics, right? Never admit your fault. Never admit you're wrong.
What is the
so
comparison for America again?
The signal thing, and this is the thing we're seeing with this. It's like, I don't know if it's been
Wow,
brought
PhotoChess,
to their
thanks for the 339 viewers.
I mean, I would assume someone's alerted them to the fact that they might have rounded up this just random hairdresser and accused him of being a gang member.
Did you find a story, Jamie?
I'm looking it up. Yeah.
But
Time magazine.
The thing is, it's like, what steps can be taken? Does prison know now? Does everybody know? Can they talk to that guy? Can they pull him out of there?
Well, this is it. It's a maximum security. It's a maximum security prison. So the answer, I think, is we don't know at this moment. But
what is his life like in there, man? I mean,
probably not good.
Horrific.
Fuck.
But
Horrific.
this is also a large part of why this happened is because of illegal immigration. So you had this, and look, I'm half Venezuelan. You had Tren de Aragua, which causes chaos in Venezuela. It comes to the U.S. It causes horrendous amounts of chaos in the U.S. And that's awful.
I still don't even think, like, this should be scary to you, okay? That conservatives can just completely and totally invent these huge issues. Like, I'm so sorry, but I'd never even heard of Tren de Aragua prior did it even come up prior to the election? It was always MS-13, who also I'd never heard of until like Trump started talking about them over and over and over again. Like, is this a major concern that Americans have? Is it Tren de Aragua? Like nobody thought about these people. This is not a huge issue in the United States, but now it's like, now we're thinking, like, oh God, like all these, like, is it going to be a new gang tomorrow that we're going to point out who's like the number one enemy to America? Like, what the fuck?
But also as well is an ordinary, decent, hard-working Venezuelans who all they want to do, their entire country has gone to shit, who have come here legally. They just want to work. They want to get ahead. They have jobs. They just have got families. They're trying to make ends meet. And all of a sudden, all you hear is Venezuelan does this, Venezuelan does that. And you're like, oh my God, man. It tars all of us with that brush.
Right.
I was walking in New York and I saw this group of this Venezuelan family, and they were there begging for money and for whatever else. And maybe it just hits harder because, they're from where I'm from or where my mum's from. And you just go, it just tarnishes all of us with the same brush.
Right.
When the reality is, like we were saying before, most of them are just good, decent, hard-working people. But because you don't have checks and balances in place, because you're not letting people, you're not vetting people, you're getting the worst of society.
Yep.
And the worst of society gives everybody else a bad name.
Gives everybody a bad name, but it also you have to wonder why that's being tolerated. Is that being done on purpose? Do you want more crime and more civil unrest? Is this part of your goal? Why else would you do this? Why do you want to disrupt society in this way and allow this to take place?
I can appreciate that you're saying what you're saying, but is that true though, or actually a non-issue? I can't tell if you're trolling or not. I've never heard of Tren de Aragua before, like a couple weeks ago. I don't think so. I don't believe these are real issues. The only time, I don't even remember if the name was said on the Venezuelan apartment takeover shit, which I'm also pretty sure just that didn't ever happen that way. That there was some crime or violence or whatever, but the idea that there was some structured takeover of apartments by some Venezuelan gangs, I think is what we called them back then. I don't think anybody ever verified this ever. Like, I'm pretty sure the local police said this is not happening. So
Allow the possibility of some sort of a gang attack or anything horrible to happen. What is this, Janie? Oh, this is it?
There's one in
Okay,
Forbes as
Time.
well, Jamie.
This is
in
from
Forbes.
Time magazine. A
the
photojournalist.
extremist religious guy from Jubilee said he would destroy Destiny in a debate. I would do it blindfolded. Somebody DM him and tell him to send me his thing, or find me his Twitter account. I'll talk to him today if he wants.
was on hand in El Salvador as
The DEA has been actively targeting Tren de Aragua for many years now. Conservatives, yeah, I'm sure there's like a ton of different gangs that are listed or named out by the DEA in terms of people doing or being involved in the transfer of drugs and everything, or the smuggling of drugs.
prison guards beat a man who is likely to be Andy, a gay Venezuelan barber makeup artist who is seemingly falsely accused of being a gang member and renditioned by the Trump administration with literally no due process.
Yeah.
So do they have a photograph that looks like this guy? A young man sobbed when a guard
Ah.
pushed him to the floor. He said, "I'm not a gang member. I'm gay. I'm a barber." I believed him.
Oh, so
He
what,
began
gang
to
members
whimper
can't
as
be
his
gay?
head was roughly shaved, folding his hands in prayer as his hair fell. He asked for his mother and cried as he was slapped again. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, why can't this guy just be like the gang's hairdressers? Like, what are you saying? That's impossible? Gangs don't have hairdressers?
I sent you the Forbes story, John. You're fine if you can forward it to Jamie. Maybe he
Oh, you
can pull
did?
it up. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
And it,
Fuck, man.
yeah.
I don't know. Did Glenn Greenwald write it for sure? Because that's probably
Glenn
how I was-
commented on it,
That's how I
but
was-
there is
yeah,
a Forbes
Yeah,
story that I
I
sent.
found out about it from Glenn.
Yeah, it's just it's awful that because you put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yeah.
And
I just Jamie.
what's terrifying about that is that you think about what that poor guy is going through.
Yeah.
If this story is real, what that guy is going through, that is literally the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
That's literally the stuff of nightmares.
Jubilee
you have
guy.
no recourse to any type of justice. There's no due process. You get rounded up. You then get kicked out of the country. You're in a maximum security prison with some of the most vicious gang members.
What to know about Andrew, 31-year-old makeup artist, falsely deported to El Salvador prison, lawyer says. immigration attorney
Okay, I damned him. Good luck.
say a gay Venezuelan makeup artist seeking asylum in the U.S. was wrongly detained as a gang member and deported to El Salvador, a case becoming a flashpoint in the debate over the Trump administration's deportation of hundreds of migrants to a notoriously inhumane El Salvador mega prison. So again, it's hard to know
That's crazy.
It's hard
chat.
to know.
what's real and what's not real, but if it is real, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah, it
But
could
if you
just be
think
the
about it,
mainstream
Joe,
media.
like I say, if you're rounding up hundreds of people, mistakes are going to get made because everyone's human.
100%.
And you then
It's
have
not
to have a
about-
system.
Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna say it's not about mistakes getting made. It's about due process, so you can't even catch the mistakes being made. But he's about to say, I think that you need to have a system.
I think, that allows you to amend and make adjustments for that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can't be bury your head in the sand and
No.
pretend it didn't happen.
No.
Like they
Yeah.
did with the Signal
And
story.
this is the trouble with government. The incentive structure is all wrong. Like, to admit that is now embarrassing.
Oh, that is true. That's a good point. That's a huge problem with government, and it's one of the inherent weaknesses of government. This is why private industry is so much better, because in private industry, they admit mistakes all the time, because it's not like you'd ever see reduction in shareholder value, less customers, people leaving your company or boycotting or whatever. It's nice that private industry is completely and totally insulated from the effects of bad publicity.
That's crazy.
Right? And it's scary. We have the same problem in the UK in terms of the illegal immigration. And if we ever get a government that's going to deal with that, we're also going to have to remove a lot of people who are there illegally. They shouldn't be there. A lot of them are. And, you know, like I said, we had a report that shows they're way more likely to commit sexual crimes, way more likely to commit violent crimes, they're way more likely to commit all sorts of crimes. We are going to have to remove them, but you have to do it in a way where there's due process and a respect.
Are they trying to remove them in England?
No.
At all?
No. They're saying they are, but they're not removing them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the mistakes like that have to be corrected if you want reasonable people to be on board with you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
If you want, you know, compassionate people to be on board with you, you can't deport gay hairdressers seeking asylum. That's fucking crazy. And then throw them in an El Salvador prison. That's
That's not even his country.
right.
You
Yeah.
deport people back to their country.
That's
Right.
kind of crazy
It's
too.
nuts.
I don't actually know. Maybe it's a reach. But would you even call this a deportation? I almost feel like it's more like you're exiling someone or something. Like if you deport somebody, but you deport them back to a country that's not even their country. So it doesn't even really feel like damn, you deported him? Jeez. You sent him home? Oh no. We sent that motherfucker's ass to fucking slave labor prison. He didn't even live that. He's not even from that country. Okay, that's pretty wild. Is there at least like the yellow tint on reality there? Yes. Okay.
It's just, what was the story with the student that got arrested for writing an op-ed piece?
Is that the Khalil guy or
No, the woman.
Is that the girl from the Korean girl from? Is that the Korean girl from Columbia University? I don't know.
Korean.
No, that's a different.
I just want to point out how bad the optics are here. Just think about what. Oh, hold on. I have so much hatred right now. Remember, these guys thought that censorship was the worst it ever had been. Oh my God. Censorship was the worst it ever had been under Biden. And both of these guys, he said, remember the person that got arrested or deported just for writing a bad op-ed? And both of these guys just named another case where somebody else got targeted for things that are strictly and totally within the First Amendment, okay? And they were both citing other cases that actually happened. And like, oh shit, I'm losing track of them. We're 2 months in and I'm losing track of all of the abhorrent First Amendment violations. Ugh.
one. There's so many of them. There was a woman who got arrested for writing some sort of a thing. This is a Turkish student at Tufts University. Latest Palestinian supporter swept up in U.S. crackdown.
right?
What did she get arrested for? Have you seen this one?
No.
I saw it, but I haven't delved into it.
Joe, sorry, could I have the lighter, please?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you,
There
mate.
you go.
She engaged in activities in support of Hamas, a foreign terrorist organization that relishes the killing of Americans.
But the department did not provide evidence of that support.
Right.
What does that mean?
Yeah, what does
I
that
heard
mean?
She wrote some piece on Israel.
Yeah.
Jeez, are they using a blowtorch to light whatever they're smoking? What the fuck was that noise? Jesus.
I don't know what the law of that is because she's not an American national.
Right.
But instinctively, I'm just like, that's a lot. That's like crazy.
I think she's been in America though since she was 7.
Right. Has she?
I believe so.
I thought she had a student visa.
I think she's been in America since she was very young. I think that's one of the things that I had read.
Okay. She'd previously been arrested in April 2024 for taking part. Yeah.
Taking part in protests at Columbia University. So it seems like they're really trying to crack down at some of these Columbia protests, right?
Crack down on these protests. Like, listen to the language. All of these guys were telling you there was never. Oh wait, we just heard it. It was like right at the beginning of this, wasn't it?
Things in that was an actual person who was trying to change things and put things in a position where he felt it was beneficial to the entire country.
Right, and it changes the feel of the.
Fuck, what was it? What did he say?
Oh, what was going to happen? And now it seems like we're in a completely times.
Might have been right at the beginning.
What's up? Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you, Joe.
Wild times.
Almost unbelievable.
Yeah. The last time you were here, we were really worried about what was going to happen. And now it seems like we're in a completely different timeline.
Yeah, I have to say, in addition to being just overarchingly worried about what was going to happen to the Republic and to the globe, I was personally worried about what would happen to people like you and me if we lost.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't be so good for business. They probably would have cracked down.
There's that. But I must say, on my darker days, I had concerns even beyond that. And
Like, just listen to how stupid this was, right? I was so concerned about what was going to happen. Under what? Under Kamala. Okay, she's like vice president now, and Biden is president now. What's happening to you now? It's not about what is happening. It's about what could happen. Well, wouldn't they just be doing whatever they could do now if they wanted to do it? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're living in a delusional world. Like, what are you afraid of? You just lived for 4 years under Biden and nothing happened. What are you afraid of right now? What?
Probably should.
yeah.
Yeah, in light of what we now know. You know, it's this U.S. aid thing that's going on. You know, Mike Benz has been on that like a pit bull, and I've been following him on X, and he's going to come back on here and kind of explain everything. But he explained it the last time he was here, and I don't think.
Oh, wait. Wrong one. Sorry, Jesus.
And I'm in two minds about that because I think on a free speech basis, unless I don't know the law,
Just for clarity, that was a second person.
second person.
Oh, this is a second person that was arrested?
Second arrest.
Oh, second pro-Palestinian Columbia University protester. Okay, so this second person has been arrested before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, are we really arresting people for protesting? Or are they protesting and also causing vandalism and violence? Like, what are we saying?
We don't know, right?
All right.
But I think there's...
Because it wouldn't like arresting people just for protest. That's like some crazy, almost like authoritarian shit. Like, can we bring up when Kamala and Biden were arresting people for protesting? They were doing that, right? Isn't that?
the legal thing, from what I've read, is very complicated because if someone is not a U.S. national,
Right.
they may be subject to different rules or they may not. I think that's a kind of live debate.
It's not really.
But from a purely principles perspective, someone being arrested for writing an article seems extreme.
Keep in mind, nobody serious is debating that on whether or not they have any rights or not. Like even the government, I don't believe was making this argument. The arguments are a little bit more sophisticated legally. Sophisticated. But I don't even think even the government is trying to make this argument that like, oh no, they don't have any rights at all. Like it's.
30-year-old was arrested and physically restrained by immigration officers near her apartment close to Tufts University's Somerville campus, where she was a PhD student. 6 plainclothes officers surrounded, how do you say that name? Ozturk?
Ozturk.
Ozturk. As she walked alone, neighborhood surveillance video appears to show the officers did not show their badges until she was restrained, the video shows. She affiliated with prestigious American universities to be arrested for purported activities related to terrorist organizations amid the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. So what did she say though? Like,
She engaged in activities in support of Hamas. But what does that mean?
right, without
What does that
specifying
mean?
what those alleged activities were. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is scary shit.
It is
Yeah.
pretty scary shit.
You know, especially if it's just protesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
Look,
It
the
is.
counter argument on this, and I think it's one that I, as someone who visits the United States, also feel is like, I don't think the United States would have given this person a visa if she had told them this is what she plans to do in America, right? So that's their argument. That's the argument that Marco Rubio is making, which is if we'd known you were going to do this, we were never going to give you a visa.
right.
What,
I don't think this
protest?
is the one that I'm thinking about that was here since she was 7.
No, that's a Korean girl at Columbia University, Joe.
Oh, okay. And they're talking about deporting her, right?
Yes, they're talking about deporting her, but I don't know enough about
And
that.
what had she done? Had she committed vandalism or
I don't know enough about it. Jamie, if you get it up, then we can have a look at it.
it
But
just?
but that's the one you're thinking of. The girl who's been here since she was 7 is a Columbia student.
This girl also went to Columbia. So she got her master's degree at Columbia.
Yeah,
Interesting. So Colombia is the hotbed.
Seems like that.
yeah.
I wonder why. Why particularly Colombia?
Well, there have been a lot of protests, pro-Palestine protests in Colombia.
Why Colombia? Why Colombia? That's a good question. Does anybody know? Does anybody remember the stated reason by the Trump admin? Didn't they do Colombia? Am I making this up, or didn't they do it because of DEI? Didn't Trump say, or wasn't that was it in an executive order or something where they were like, they have DEI, so they're part of the university people that we're going after? I feel like I saw that.
Colombia.
There she is.
Yeah.
Other one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the girl.
Yeah, because they cut
know,
funding from the school as well.
the
They threatened to
we're
pull 400
rapid-
million in grants. I don't think it was just a threat. I think they actually went through with it. No.
Approaching the time where America and the UK is going to have a pretty uncomfortable debate as to what is acceptable and what is unacceptable when it comes to dealing with people
Yeah.
who come here illegally, people who commit crime, or even if they attend protests.
Yeah.
Where is the line? Because we're going to have to make a decision. Because until we do that and we start to actually apply the law as it's meant to be applied and put certain laws in place, then these type of things are just going to continue to happen.
Yeah.
100%, especially if someone wants them to happen. Because that's what my fear is, that a lot of these things are paid for and organized, and including a lot of these protests at universities. I think they're doing it on purpose. And I think they're trying to build up a lot of passion in these people for being disruptive, and a lot of passion for protest, and passion for, and then they weaponize it.
Crazy that we believe that college students are somehow being paid and organized to protest, but we won't say anything about Russia stuff. Well, maybe Joe Rogan does. I don't know. I haven't watched the shit on it, but interesting there. But, you know.
Really do. I believe that's exactly what they did with the Tesla buildings, with all the Tesla dealerships being light on fire. I think they
Yeah, how could you possibly hate Elon Musk unless you're literally being paid to hate him? There's no way there's any organic dislike for Elon Musk, right? I can't believe that.
weaponized it, and it's a good test run. You know, if they can weaponize it against Tesla, they can do that with a lot of other things and justify that kind of vandalism and fire and arson and all the chaos and property destruction.
I went to UCLA campus. This was May last year, and I went to a pro-Palestine demonstration, and I just went around just interviewing people, talking to students, and both on pro-Palestine and the other side. And one thing one of the kids said to me was, as he was trying to get into the library, he was like, you know, most of the people who are doing this, they're not from UCLA. They're not from this college campus.
Right.
What are they doing here?
Right.
He goes, look, fair enough. If you want to protest and you go to UCLA, that's all cool, whatever. Number one, don't stop me from getting an education when my parents have paid X amount for it. But number two,
I forget, how many degrees does Charlie Kirk have? I'm guessing he's got like over, 50, 60 college degrees? Because we're saying, I guess, he goes to every single school that he sets his events up at? Or Steven Crowder as well, right? Crowder must have who knows how many degrees, because he must be doing the Change My Mind events only at schools that he's currently attending, right? Like, what?
like, he pointed at one of the dudes. He was like, that guy's about 42. I know he doesn't go to my college.
Right.
Why is he here?
Well, old people can go to college. What?
Yeah, protesting.
It's being paid.
Yeah, and you're right. And there are a lot of foreign governments that want this shit to be going on.
100%. And there's a lot of bots online that want this to be. There's a lot of like momentum that pushes things into these directions.
If you're an LA local, is it illegitimate to protest at UCLA? I think if it's a state school, I think there are certain First Amendment protections so that anybody can go there. I don't think a school can prohibit anybody that has like state funding as long as you're not like breaking any time, manner, and place restrictions.
These are not organic. Just like Bernie Sanders' rally numbers aren't organic. Like, these are not organic. There's a
Wasn't this guy a Bernie supporter? Wait, does he think Bernie was paying people to go in or whatever? Or
I mean, that was during the Kamala Harris administration, or during the campaign, rather. You saw these inorganic moments where they filled these arenas with people that were paid. And they spent how many billion? $2 billion over the course of 3 months to do this, and it failed. But it's like you're manufacturing this passion, manufacturing this movement, and a lot of people are dumb, and it works on them.
Yeah.
And they're like, you don't know. Like, I'm sure you saw that lady who was like bragging about buying champagne and making fun of the guy selling her the champagne because he wasted his vote on Trump. And I'm buying champagne to toast Madam President. She's gonna win. Women have come to she really believed it, like, because they gaslit people so hard with their filled arenas and all the news coverage on CNN and MSNBC, and the polls are showing, and it's going to be Kamala Harris is going to be, and they just gaslit the whole country.
And this is what happened with all that woke cancellation stuff as well, where it was a very small number of people who made themselves look a lot bigger online.
Right.
In order to then get companies to back down, to get universities to back down, in order to get other organizations who were just scared of the bad attention to back down. I look at a lot of stuff that happens on social media. I'm going, there's no fucking way that has got 80,000 likes organically. That's not real.
No.
You know,
it's hard to say what's real and what's not real. And until you take that chip in your head, you're not going to know. That's why you need to sign up for the Neuralink program.
Yeah. It's one of the things that I'm really hopeful Elon can solve with X. Is just that was one of the things he said when he took over. We need to deal with the bot problem. I think there's more to do on that front for sure.
Oh, there's a lot more to do, and I don't know what they can actually do. Because with AI, I mean, you can have like really sophisticated programs that tweet as if they are from Afghanistan, tweet as if they're from wherever they are in the world. They can do it in different languages. It can all be done with AI now, and they can argue specific points. Like, this guy is a Nazi. Go out there and say it and prompt it. And then all of a sudden you've got, looks like groundswell of support calling Elon Musk a Nazi. And then a bunch of people hop onto that, and they think it's organic. And they think that, like, these people are fed up. That's why they're going to the Tesla dealerships. No, they're being paid. And they're trying to crash the stock of Tesla. They're trying to put people into panic mode so that it puts pressure on Elon to drop Doge. Like, this is what's going on. Like, and you're watching it as if it's this organic moment. It's a puppet show. You're watching a puppet show.
And that's the thing that, that really worries, I think, everybody at the moment is at a very basic fundamental level. I don't know what's real and what's not.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, man.
I wish I did, because people think I do. Like, oh, you have inside information. I don't have any. I have zero. I don't know what's going on.
I think we all need to understand, you to a greater extent, us to a lesser extent, like, we're not real people to people online. We're just avatars.
Right.
And then they imbue us with this knowledge that we've got this knowledge that we can see things.
You're controlled opposition.
Oh, we are so that.
Yeah,
we get
me
that
too.
so much.
It's hilarious. That is that's for people that are just a little too smart to believe the Earth is flat. They'll go with controlled opposition. But it's just they just don't know. Like, if you're on the outside looking in, like if you're looking at Tom Hanks in his house, it must be a pedophile to get that house.
True.
Would the president use to potentially run for a third term? As he said, there are methods there.
Look,
You guys continue to ask the president this question about a third term, and then he answers honestly and candidly with a smile, and then everybody here melts down about his answer. The president was talked about this last night on the plane. He said it's not really something we're thinking about. He has 4 years. There's a lot of work to do.
It's not really
We've
something
done a
we're
lot,
thinking about.
in these nearly first 100 days, and the American people, particularly when it comes to efforts to secure the border.
Method would the president use to potentially run for a third term? As he said, there are methods there.
Look, you guys continue to.
I feel like the quartering is just scamming his audience. Like, I want to say there might be charitable ways to read what he's saying, but if he's trying to get public funds, like if he's raising funds from his audience, he should be clear in what he's saying. The quartering is in $300,000 of debt after trying to kickstart this. Now he says it's 240 currently. We're paying it down. Does he mean that he personally is in 240,000 in debt, or that the business itself is? How is he so over leveraged that he's having to? I just don't understand. His YouTube channel is like crazy successful, no? He doesn't do the shorts thing, right? 17 million views for last month. 70 million, 40, 50 million. Jesus. I don't know. Huh. What is this? Hassan can't stop making it awkward when talking about Ethan Klein around Jeff Wittick, mutual third party.
What's going on, my haircut? Yeah, dude, fucking Ethan hates me now.
Oh, what's the deal with that beef? Because I like both you guys.
No,
What's the deal with that beef? My face when Hassan asked to summarize any beef ever. We were definitely going to get the most fair reading of what is happening. Okay, let's go.
I know. You gotta pick a side. Sorry. You have to pick a side.
Serious?
Yeah, it's that serious. I mean, I don't give a shit.
Dead.
I don't give a shit. He probably will though.
Yeah, because we're loyal.
Yeah. Yeah, you were.
He probably will, though. Yes, Ethan Klein, well-known enforcer of loyalty.
You're loyal to him. That's why
I'm
you're
loyal to
fucking
everybody that fucking fucks with me. You're loyal to me.
Yeah.
I'm loyal to you.
That's why you're fucking my hair up right now. This was an inside job. What's going on, my?
Okay, I don't think this is not serious. Is any of this worth watching? Wait, what? Academics and Kanye West removed.
Time I back, my issue with you. You gonna lie to me about a fucking PDF, you faggot ass nigga? After I sat and took the meeting for you, you took the money and I ain't even asked your broke ass for a percentage? Maybe he didn't know how to do it. Do you think one of his young niggas knew how to do it? Yeah, of course.
This is actually so hard to do. I try to keep this in mind. I don't do this by habit. It is so important. It's not so important. It's an important skill to have, though. It doesn't feel like it at the time, but if you fuck up, okay? If you fuck up, just admit you fucked up and try to get over it. But everybody can tell when you're making excuses. Nobody believes in the excuses. You always sound worse for it. Just if you fucked up, you fucked up. Just say it and figure it out and move on. And don't try to pretend it didn't happen or make excuses for it. People always look down on you for it, right? You understand that's the story that Kanye is telling here, right? It sounds like some guy, unless I'm misunderstanding, it sounds like some guy took money from him and either scammed him or was lazy. And the guy lied about being able to, oh, I don't know how to do a thing. He probably knew how to do a thing. He just scammed him. And Kanye's like, don't lie to me. Don't make an excuse. That's what it sounds like he's saying. But yeah, it's a hard skill to do sometimes because you feel like you want to make, we're just like say, like, listen, I'm going to be late. I fucked up or whatever. Like, don't make an excuse. Nobody's going to believe it anyway. Yeah. Why is Kanye surrounded by so many scammers, though? Damn. Please watch the full interview. Bro, it's like an hour long. Okay, I can't. I don't know if the child is mine. Elon Musk says he sent MAGA influencer $2.5 million open to paternity test. Is Ashley... Oh, Elon's claiming it's not his kid now? Holy fuck. I just had a big brain. Never mind, it wouldn't work. But I was going to say, imagine if you only only knocked girls up via IVF, but it was never with your actual sperm. You got somebody else to do it. And then anytime you didn't like a woman, like Elon, you'd be like, oh, let's do a paternity test. Oh, looks like it wasn't my kid. And then they're, boom, out of there. Gold digger and professional gaslighter St. Clair Ashley was caught on camera outside of her ritzy Manhattan condo, paid for by her sugar daddy, Elon Musk. Selling her $100,000 Tesla, she said, was gifted to her by Elon Musk during a romantic relationship. I don't know if the child is mine or not. Oh, Elon says this. I don't know if the child is mine or not, but I'm not against finding out. No court order is needed. Despite not knowing for sure, I've given Ashley $2.5 million, and I'm sending her $500K per year. Elon, we asked you to confirm paternity through a test before our child, who you named, was even born. You refused. And you weren't sending me money. You were sending support for your child that you thought was necessary until you withdrew most of it to maintain control and punish me for disobedience. But you're really only punishing your son. It's ironic that your last effort in court was to try to gag me while you use a social media channel you literally own to distribute derogatory messages about me and our child to the entire world. It's all about control with you, and everyone can see it. America needs you to grow up, you petulant man-child. Ashley, you don't need $3 million to raise a baby. This is so outrageous you had sex without birth control. You seem to have plotted for many years how to get Elon Musk to knock you up. And now you're complaining because you want more money for a baby. In what world does it cost more than $500K a year to raise a baby? Not to mention you were making over $25,000 a month on X payouts. How does one person need that much money to survive? This is an insult to everyone. You're trying to cash out on a billionaire who you baby trapped. Is it really baby trapping when it feels like Elon Musk runs around looking? Well, hold on. Is it baby trapping if he literally did in vitro fertilization? I think at that point, I don't think you can call it baby trapping anymore. Motherfucker, it was IVF, okay? Or assuming that's true that it was IVF. Oh, Jesus. Musk gives away $1 million checks at Wisconsin event. This is so fucking blatantly, corruptly disgusting, dude.
We are in Turkey.
This is our journey.
To see the ancient cities of legends up close
is incredible.
Ruins whisper the stories of the eras.
Civilizations that marked history walked these roads.
Why did Turkey rename itself to this weird Turkey IE thing, okay? Go back to the animal spelling.
This is where the story of humanity arose.
We have so many stories to tell.
Elon Musk handed out $1 million checks to 2 attendees at an event here in Green Bay, Wisconsin, where he urged Wisconsin voters to support the conservative candidate in the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, Brad Schimmel. Now, Musk spoke in very stark terms about the importance of this race, as he said the future of civilization hinges on this election. He also really keyed in on the potential for redistricting, the redrawing of congressional maps here in the state if the liberal candidate, Susan Crawford, were to win. Take a listen.
What's happening on Tuesday is
Remember, these events are scams. Now, conservatives love getting scammed. That's why they all line up to get fucked by Trump and Trump coin and all the other scams. But the last time Elon gave away random checks, they weren't random at all. They were by people that his company had picked out to be good spokespeople for whatever political movement PAC bullshit they were doing. They weren't random. Somebody tried to take him to court for that, and they said, oh, no, these aren't random at all. We picked these people. This is probably the exact same way. They're not picking people at random. They're pre-chosen people. If you're a Wisconsin, you're going to this shit, you have no chance of winning.
Candidate Susan Crawford were to win. Take a listen.
What's happening on Tuesday is a vote for which party controls the U.S. House of Representatives. That is why it is so significant. And whichever party controls the House, it to a significant degree controls the country, which then steers the course of Western civilization. So it's like, I feel like this is one of those things that may not seem that it's going to affect the entire destiny of humanity, but I think it will.
Now, Musk reprised a controversial tactic that he and his super PAC, America PAC, used in the 2024 presidential election. He handed out those $1 million checks here at this.
Speaks like a retard, says retarded shit, is a retard. Like, how is this guy anything but a certified fucking retard?
Event just hours after the state Supreme Court declined to step in after the state's Attorney General, Josh Kaul, had filed a lawsuit trying to stop this cash giveaway. It all highlights the very intense efforts that Musk has underway here in the state. He has poured over $20 million of his own personal fortune to help back the conservative candidate.
Has he always had these speech impediments? He misspeaks more than Dan? I don't know. I don't want to play into the rumor too much, but just kidding. Yes, I will. It might just be the ketamine shit, because I feel like Elon Musk has never been. Elon Musk first presentation Tesla. What did he sound like 5 years ago? Oh, unveils Model 3.
Secret master plan.
Yeah.
So
stop clapping. Let him talk.
So this is the first blog that I ever wrote for the company, and it was originally a 3-step. It was originally a trilogy. Now it's a 4-part trilogy.
as it turns out.
Okay, maybe he's always been a stuttery public speaker.
But it needed to,
Never mind. Actually, he was on ketamine back then too. Bam.
we needed to figure out how could we, as a tiny company with very few resources, actually make a difference. And the only way to do this was to start small, to start with a low volume car, which is why we started with the Tesla Roadster. So with any new technology, it takes multiple iterations and it takes economies of scale before you can make it great and affordable. So
Do you think he's teleprompting here? Or do you think he's like trying to just speak off the cuff? I'm actually curious. His eyes are going back and forth like there are teleprompters out there, do you think? Or
step one was the Roadster. The Roadster
or might be just trying to like
was high price and low volume. But where it really made a difference was that it showed people that it showed the world that you could make a compelling electric car. You could make a great electric car. What was unique about the Roadster was it was the first really great electric car. And before the Roadster, people thought an electric car would be slow and ugly and low range and have bad performance. And we had to break that mold. It was incredibly important to show that that wasn't true. And so we made the Roadster, which is fast, it's beautiful, it's great performance. For those of you who bought the Roadster, thank you. So
this is true. God, fuck, he's such a disgusting, subhuman fucking piece of shit. I hate him so much. God, what a fucking loser. But it's hard to remember now, but electric cars just used to be like Priuses, and they were cringe and lame. And it really was Tesla that broke the mold on the idea that you get an electric car that's also very fast, that's also sexy, and has a range greater than like 50 miles, right? Tesla really did like shatter the fucking mold on that. Although now he's just...
and we only made 500 units a year, because that's all we really could make for the Roadster. But it had a very leveraged effect. In fact, Bob Lutz, the former vice chairman of GM, actually credits the Roadster with the Chevy Volt program, which then led to the Nissan Leaf program. And really, even though we were making very few cars, it actually had quite a huge leveraged effect on the auto industry. But there was still a lot more to do. And a lot of people said, well, the Roadster is nice, but it's sort of a toy and it's very expensive, and you couldn't really make a car that people would use every day, or a car that could really compete against the great combustion sedans of the world. So we thought, okay, we're going to make the Model S. So
people keep saying, check out the current Prius or whatever. I don't care. It's not relevant. I'm just saying back in the day, you were made fun of if you drove a Prius, and it was just seen as like a beta car. I'm sure that maybe the impression has changed now, or maybe they're different now, I'm sure, but it's not what I'm saying.
Hi friends, today...
Hold on. How do you fix your terrible sleep? 10 habits.
I'm going to share with you 10 things that are going to change your life.
Oh my God. It's about something important to us, and it's in a list of 10?
I had poor sleep my entire life, and I just logged what is potentially the best sleep score in human history. 8 months of perfect sleep.
Holy shit.
Sleep is the most important thing a human does on a daily basis. I'm going to share with you what I did to achieve that perfect sleep score.
Really? Sleep is more important than breathing? Oh my God, we should do a CinemaSins on... I'm just kidding.
They do not require $2 million a year, and I'm going to give them to you for free today.
All right. Let's hear it.
All right, what I've done to make this easy for you is I've listed out the 10 levels and...
Oh my God, he spoiled it. Okay, we've got identify as a professional sleeper. I do sleep professionally. Okay. I have investments. They gain money while I sleep. The passage of time appreciates my net worth because of my S&P 500 ETF. So I get paid to sleep. So I am a professional sleeper. Number one, consistent bedtime. That's a big one. Wind down routine. I don't know. I can't control the wind. Eat early. I don't know how much that matters. Avoid stimulants like alcohol and caffeine. He's probably going to say like 2 to 4 hours before bed. I don't know why alcohol is here, but I do, or as a stimulant or whatever. But I think alcohol does have a really negative impact on your sleep. Regulate evening light. Okay, optimal temperature. It's supposed to be cold, probably. Peaceful sleep environment. True. Morning light. That's a key. Holy shit. And gather data. That's always important as well. Good luck.
7 days of the week. So tape this on the bathroom mirror or in your bedroom and put a star by each day you accomplish a task.
Okay.
When you achieve level 10, send me a note and tell me you've become a professional sleeper.
Oh my God. Will he chat with you?
Now I know that sleep doesn't solve all things, but it helps me feel well enough and full of energy that I want to do everything else that's good for me. All right, number one, and full of energy that I
do people ever, when I see like exotic desk setups like this,
but it helps me feel well enough and full of.
Do people actually work in these places? Fuck, I guess my setup is kind of obnoxious. Well, but I'm a streamer. It has to be. I'm so curious people actually are working here full time. I don't believe it.
Energy.
I don't believe
that
it.
I want to do everything else that's good for me. All right, number one is identify as a professional sleeper. Currently, grind culture is the dominant way of understanding sleep, which is you don't need a lot of it, and you're actually weak if you get it.
Money never sleeps, pal.
That's foolish. Don't do that. The wise thing to do is to make sleep your number one priority. You will feel better, you will look better, and everything in life will be easier. Level 2 is to have a consistent bedtime. This is really important because you're telling your body, we do sleep at this time every day. So you can make adjustments in your life. Have dinner earlier, plan earlier, put it.
As a male, you should have a natural competitive instinct against other men. Always be wary when other men tell you not to grind. The reason why they're telling you that is so that they can steal your grinds from you while you're sleeping like a loser, okay? Don't ever forget that. These people are grind thieves.
On your schedule. Think of this as your most important meeting of the day. When you show up to work on time or have meetings with your friends, if you're even 5 minutes late, you apologize. Don't disappoint yourself and show up on time. In my family, when bedtime arrives, Talmadge and I will stop whatever we're doing and run to our bedtimes. We do this tongue in cheek. It's funny because we're saying to each other, we respect bedtime in this family. We know we're going to be better family members with each other if we get our sleep. For my bedtime, I've chosen 8:30. I love the morning time, especially the 4 hours of time I have all by myself. No one's calling me, no one's messaging me. I have it all to myself, so I really like to go to bed at 8:30, then I have the morning wide open. That said, you do you. If you're a night owl and you prefer to go to bed later, that's okay. Just
Can I just say something as Americans that you guys will never understand? It is so lonely in Europe before like 1 to 2 p.m. I don't know how Europeans survive. The whole internet is asleep. Nothing is happening. When you're awake early in Europe, it's just like constantly waiting for America to wake up before anything is fucking happening online. Oh my God. What a horrible, terrible feeling. I'm so glad I'm not European. And then if you're like Japanese or Australian, you're just like in another fucking world. Nobody talks to you.
Choose your bedtime and be consistent. Level 3 is have a wind down routine. I know from personal experience that when I go to bed and I'm thinking about the day's problems or some opportunity, anything that's on my mind, if my head hits a pillow all night long, I'll just think about it. So what I do now is sleep Brian enters the equation 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime. And if an incoming thought says, oh, you should be worried about this or you should think about that, Sleep Brian says, thank you for the suggestion. Sleep mode is now engaged.
Ooh.
So I would encourage you, create a ritual, read a book, go for a walk, do some favorite hobby, but avoid screens and avoid anything that's going to get you aroused. Don't have fights, don't tackle hard problems, get ready for bed. All right, level 4 is to eat early. I know this because I tried hundreds of experiments with food types and eating times, and I found that I slept the best with Blueprint food and my last meal of the day at 11 a.m. Now that may sound early to you, it is, but I got used to it. Now, this does not mean that you need to eat at 11 a.m. as well. What this means is it's an invitation for you to try to explore eating earlier and also trying to avoid big, heavy meals at the end of the day that could really be having a negative effect on your sleep. When I go out for social events, I will eat something. Sometimes I try to...
Okay, 1, blue nail polish. What? 2, is there any actual data that shows that eating before sleep is like fucks with your sleep? I've never heard that before. I guess it's possible.
Find a light food like steam.
I don't know why I said I guess it's possible. Anything's possible.
vegetables or something like that, because having a plate in front of me with food makes everyone feel comfortable. If I don't have it, then everyone's like, why are you not eating? And it's a whole thing. So I really try to blend in to avoid creating chaos in social situations. All right, level 5 is hopefully an obvious one. You want to avoid stimulants or anything that's going to disrupt your sleep. That includes alcohol and caffeine. I know personally, if I drink any alcohol in the latter part of the day, my deep sleep is going to be about 80% less. It just decimates my sleep. So I now have no alcohol. Then of course, caffeine, we metabolize caffeine at different speeds, but I've stopped all caffeine as well. It really has helped me improve my sleep. So just for you to consider that these things may potentially be degrading your quality of sleep, and to be mindful of what you consume and when you consume it. Level 6 is regulate light in the evening.
Something that's really interesting is if you get like I think your Apple Watch probably tracks your sleep, or you get like a Whoop or whatever. There's a lot of different bands, or Fitbit. I don't know, Fitbit probably tracks your sleep. It is really interesting that you could run tests with yourself. There are things that have a dramatic impact on your sleep, even if you're not always aware of it. Like for instance, when it comes to drinking alcohol, if you drink alcohol and then you go to sleep and you check your fucking watch thing the next morning, it will know that you've drank because your sleep will be degraded. And it keeps track of that pretty reliably. Sometimes you can even get indications that you're like getting sick earlier. Like if you have really rough sleep for some reason and you feel like a little bit weird, and then eventually you get sick, you're like, oh shit, my body was getting sick and I was already getting like kind of shitty sleep as a result.
So a few things for you to keep in mind is I have an app on my computer, Flux, F-L-U-X. It eliminates blue light from the screen. 2 is...
My understanding is that none of this light wavelength bullshit has any effect whatsoever on being awake or being tired. I think it's just more light is bad, less light is good. That if you dim the light or whatever, it's better. But I don't know if like seeing different wavelengths at different times of the day. I think it might help you wake up, but I don't know if it makes you feel tired. I'm not sure. That's my understanding of it.
Is if I'm watching a movie with friends, I'll put on a pair of blue light blocking glasses.
Sorbet?
Do you want a bite?
I'm on a diet, but thank you.
My room is entirely blacked out with curtains.
I'm on a diet, but thank you.
My room...
Absolutely based room, okay? Also, if you have a problem holding down a woman, or if you bring women home and then they leave afterwards, if your room ever looks like this, they're going to think you're a sociopath. I approve, however. This is a base bedroom.
Room is entirely blacked out with curtains, and if I'm traveling, I will wear a mask. And so you're trying to avoid light that is going to otherwise disrupt your sleep, and just be mindful. Probably the most important thing here is just try to eliminate screens in that downtime before bed.
That's probably
Level
true.
7 is to maintain an ideal temperature for your sleep. Now I think Goldilocks got this right. Not too hot, not too cold. You, of course, we can say specific numbers, but everyone's different. And so more important is, either it being too hot or too cold is going to create suboptimal sleep. And there's also considerations with a partner and other members in the family. So just be mindful that you don't want to be in either one of the extremes. So for my own personal temperature control, I use an 8 sleep mattress. And during my deep sleep, it's down to 71 Fahrenheit. And then during my REM, it's up to 73. Consider changing your thermostat or aircon settings, experimenting with different types of bedding, and opening doors for increased airflow. Level 8 is creating a peaceful sleep environment for you, for your family, for your children. Now I have 3 kids. If I could travel back in time, I would sit everyone down and say, we are a sleep family. And here are the rules of how we do sleep. We go to bed on time. We never get up at night. We never wake anyone up unless we feel like our life is being threatened. You're doing them a favor, and you're setting them up with good habits that will endure throughout their life. But also other things. One of my neighbors has barking dogs. So I called her, and she was
well memed, my friend. Well memed.
More than willing to say, I understand your bedtime is at 8:30, so after 8:30, I will make sure they're in the home, in their kettles. Very considerate. So you can do things with neighbors, with partners, with friends. Don't feel shy in asking. Oftentimes it makes a better environment for everybody. Now, one more thing to mention is for my sleep environment, I do nothing in my bedroom except for sleep. I don't read in there, I don't watch movies, I don't hang out. It's for sleep, because I'm telling my body, when you get into this position, your objective is sleep. And if you're doing things all day, then your body can get confused. So it's really important to have a dedicated sleep environment. It will improve the quality of your sleep. And there's one more thing which may be a little bit controversial, is if you can sleep alone, you may want to consider it.
My wife said, no, not here, Buck.
It's pretty hard to...
So odd, right? This guy cannot be fun to be around. I'm going to take a hot take here, and I'm an asshole in real life, so I don't care. Sometimes imposing on people. I think there are sometimes certain, like, fundamental body things that people have no respect for. I think you should be a Nazi about it. For me personally, I have to have my sleep. Like, I can be a morning person, I can wake up, I can be fine. If I know I have to wake up and be short on sleep, I can do it if I have to. But if I don't have to be short on sleep, it's not cute, it's not funny, it's not whatever to, like, wake somebody up or, oh, blah, blah, like, no, fuck you, and please kill yourself. Don't, like, let me sleep, okay? Kill yourself in a video game, of course. Let me sleep. Like, it's not funny to fuck around with somebody's sleep. I hate that. It's torture to me, okay? Let me sleep. Things around food, I feel, are really big, too. I've gotten in 2, like, significant confrontations that I would have never imagined would have happened. A while ago, I think this was like a year and a half ago. I think I was, what was it, a year and a half ago? Maybe it was 2 years ago. I was cutting, no, I'm not, it doesn't count as cutting. I was trying to lose weight, okay? And somebody had offered me like, oh, like we're ordering a cookie thing or we're ordering ice cream or whatever. Do you want it? And I was like, no, I'm trying to lose weight. And people who like push food on you, like it was like a confrontation. Like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, it's just like a scoop of ice cream. Like, what? Excuse me. What the fuck do you mean it's not a big deal? Like, I don't want any ice cream. Can I give you a little dick? Like, what do you mean? Why would you say this to me? Like, what, are you going to force feed me? And it ended up being a much larger confrontation than I thought it would be. I'm like, I just don't want to have any of this right now. I don't know. I feel like there are some basic sound is another one. Fuck, maybe I'm just turning into a Nazi. People that play music too loud, like if you're going to do some shit like this, or I'm going to do environmentally, let me know so I can bring some earplugs. I know it's cool to like fucking jam with your shit at a certain volume. I appreciate my fucking hearing and I don't want to lose it all listening to your shitty music. Okay? Fuck that. Yeah. I feel like there are some basic, that's a Seinfeld bit? Which one? I feel like there are like some basic bodily functions that like people are like, oh, you know, everybody should be able to disrespect these things or it's like epic or whatever. And it's like, no, excuse me. Like, I have to live with myself, okay? Fuck you.
My wife said, no, not here, Buck.
It's pretty hard to synchronize the sleep routines and preferences of 2 people, and there can be a lot of wake events between the 2. So if it's a possibility and you can have that conversation, you may want to strongly consider sleeping independently because it may yield higher quality sleep for both of you. Level 9 is light. The first thing I do in the morning, I wake up around 5:30 naturally every day, is I turn on 10,000 lux and I do that for a few minutes. It tells my body, you're awake, the day's beginning. It helps with mood, it helps with energy. It tells my body, I turn on 10,000 lux.
This is not 10,000 lux. Also, you would measure lumens at the light, but what? 10,000 lumen, it would be an insanely bright, 10,000 lux would be insanely bright. That's like, that would just be that would be lux's light temperature or color? No, it's not. Lux is intensity of the light as it hits a surface. Lumens is intensity of light as it, oh, maybe he was saying, maybe he meant to say temperature, but that wouldn't even make sense because your daylight temperature is like 5,600 degrees or whatever.
And I do that for a few minutes. It tells my body, you're awake, the day's beginning. It helps with mood, it helps with energy. And again, it tells the body,
I think the brand name is 10,000 lux. Oh, fuck you, whatever.
Get up at this time and now we're up. It's so important to tell your body exactly when to go to bed and when to wake up, and you start having these compounded benefits as you repeat these behaviors continually. I think that's why, in large part, I was able to achieve an 8-month perfect sleep score, is I was able to
get lux and lumens right, bud. Yes, I am. Lux is when the lux is measured at the surface and lumens is measured at the emission. So like this light is emitting a certain amount of lumens, but if I were to measure it at a certain distance, it would be measured in lux, is how much the light impacts at a certain distance because of inverse square.
To tune my body so well that I knew exactly what to expect every single day. Now, if you don't wake up at 5 or 5:30, or you have a preference to go outside, please do so. The sunlight is great. I too enjoy the sunlight. I typically try to avoid the times of day between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when the UV index is high, but the morning and the night are great times to get sunlight.
At what point does extending your life decrease your quality of life? Even if it temporarily decreases your quality of life massively increases every time you outlive a loser fucking friend who didn't extend their life. Every time they die, you get a permanent bump in happiness.
Light exposure. Level 10 is gathering data. Now, I would have put this at number 1, but it does cost money, and I've been mindful of trying to put everything that's free ahead of it. but data has been the most important thing I've done. It's helped me create intuitions and knowledge about what improves my sleep and what worsens it. My main tool for tracking sleep is my Whoop band, which tracks how much sleep I got each night, the quality of that sleep, and how much I exerted myself each day. Just to put this in context, imagine you're training for a 1 mile race. You couldn't do it without a stopwatch. You couldn't just guess how fast you're running. Even though you can approximate your speed, you don't know if you're improving or not. So that's 10 things for you to become a professional sleeper. You can do this. Get into the habits and make them non-negotiable. If your favorite show drops and your bedtime, don't watch it, go to bed. You're telling your body, we have a routine and we're going to be consistent on that routine. And you may find that so many of your other problems in life are going to resolve themselves when you're getting routine. Other problems in life are going to resolve themselves.
What are we thinking? 4% body fat? 3% body fat? My God.
When you're getting routine, high quality sleep. So when you go through the levels and you master them, send me a note and tell me you've achieved mastery. It will change your life, I promise.
Wow. Are these watches comfortable to sleep with on? I don't know. People just feel differently about that stuff. I don't mind having a watch on. Some people are very particular about having stuff on their wrist. I don't know. Okay. Do you track your heart rate? Has it changed significantly after starting Vyvanse? I do track my heart rate. It's gone down a lot since I started working out again. It was going up kind of, but I can't tell if it's the Vyvanse or my life becoming increasingly stressful. So it's hard to say. Who knows?
My day is 6 a.m. to noon, and I'm not crazy. You're crazy for thinking it takes 24 hours, just like some dude in a cave did 300 years ago.
True.
My second day starts at noon and goes till 6 p.m. That's day 2. And then the next day is 6 p.m. to midnight. What I've done now is
Do you know what 100 degrees Fahrenheit is in Celsius without Googling? 34 degrees.
Changed and manipulated time. I now get 21 days a week. Stack that up over a month, I'm gonna kick you butt.
Oh, fuck.
Stack it up over a year, you're toast. Stack it up over 5 years, my entire life is different than
Bam.
otherwise.
Holy shit.
Shows that people perhaps are concerned with and our new Fox News polling shows that people perhaps are concerned with how things are going. This is as of March 14th. Those that say they disapprove, 56%, more than half. Those who approve of the president's handling of the economy is at 43%. And in that same polling, we asked about the most important issue facing the country today, and top of the list is inflation. And the economy is number 2, and jobs. Those are first and second as it goes down to political division and preservation of democracy. Is the president doing enough to answer?
These are Fox News polls too. Whew, I think, right? They said these were their polls.
The needs and demands of the American voter when it comes to the economy and lowering prices.
The president and his economic team are working on this effort every single day. And the president is not only trying to fix the mess created by the previous administration's incompetence and reckless spending, he is trying to fix decades of unfair trade practices that have ripped our country off, that have sent jobs overseas, and that have forced millions of Americans out of their jobs.
Why the fuck do we care about... Why did we elect Trump if he was just going to blame Biden the whole time? We might as well have just gotten Biden or Kamala. The fuck?
China, Japan, and South Korea held the first trade talks in 5 years on Sunday, amid concerns over U.S. President Donald Trump's import tariffs. The 3 Asian manufacturing giants agreed to, quote, closely cooperate for a comprehensive and high-level talks to improve free trade in the region. That's according to a statement released after the meeting. Trade ministers from the 3 nations met ahead of Trump's planned announcement on Wednesday of more tariffs in what he calls, quote, Liberation Day. Last week, Trump announced 25% import tariffs on cars and auto parts, a move that may hurt companies, especially Asian automakers, which are among the largest vehicle exporters to the U.S. Seoul, Beijing, and Tokyo are major US trading partners, although they have been at loggerheads among themselves. Disagreements over issues, including territorial disputes, have prevented them from making any substantial progress on a trilateral free trade deal since starting talks in 2012. The ministers agreed to hold their next ministerial meeting in Japan.
So cringe. You know what sucks too is that if Trump's tariff bullshit starts, if he's able to maintain it for 4 years, there's a good chance that it'll never be rolled back, because it's going to be just like a housing issue, right? Where if we manage to start building some domestic industry in the US, even if it's shittier, even if it's more expensive, you're going to start rolling that back. If you roll back those tariffs, you're literally going to be, you will be destroying some local manufacturing, because now you're going to open the markets for other people. Like it'll never go away. You're going to have such a bias towards tariffs. It's just like people that own houses, like don't want to see housing prices go down because it hurts their own asset. There's no shot manufacturers are building factories in the next 4 to 6 years. Yeah, I don't think so, but I guess it depends on how long Trump is able to keep all this shit up. Who the fuck knows? Tim Pool to the White House press pool. Nice. I saw a name drop. More?
Where Aiden Ross didn't do something worse than Destiny. Literally no observable universe in which Destiny was worse than...
I think it's very similar in terms of the toxicity, in terms of the overall harm to like random content creators in general. Yes, their operational methods are pretty fucking similar. It's not incorrect. Yeah, doxing, swatting,
what?
Going after content creators, going after fucking...
Excuse me, who are all these content creators that my audience has doxed and swatted? That's Hassan's audience. What are you talking about? You literally platform Bad Empanada. Like, his audience outwardly literally does this. What?
People that are in the trust and safety side of things. Like,
oh, he's trying to blame all of this on fucking Dan's Israel shit or whatever. But these are VPs whose names are... Like, are we considering it doxing to call out like named VPs of Twitch? I mean, if you want to go that route, fine, but basically all forms of boycotting or talking about any, like then talking about like Bezos or Elon Musk or any of their like head management or whatever would all be, I don't know, that's wild.
Destiny, I would go so far as to say, is like gone above and beyond, even beyond what Aiden Ross has done. Aiden Ross, as far as I know, has not tried to like fucking dox people that work at Twitch directly. Having said that, on the politics front, yes, of course, Aiden Ross has significantly worse statements than even Destiny.
Wow, thanks. Aiden tried to dox Destiny? No, his whole community was doxing me actively. When he was screaming and having a breakdown on that podcast episode, his whole community was spamming, posting doxes to my house, to my kid's house, to everything. Yeah, what do you, like... Okay, but yeah, I guess we're the same. Base, we are the same. True king. This Tesla shit.
He's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot, but the way he's been treated with Tesla is just terrible.
Terrible.
It's just terrible. In fact, you have a Tesla, and you love it. You love it. He was saying before he bought a Tesla, he loves it. A lot of people are buying Teslas, I think, and I hope they are. He should not be treated that way. He's done an incredible service to our country.
Well, once he goes back, is Doge going to keep operating?
He's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot.
True. $107 executive orders signed in 67 days, more than any president in history. Remember, Republicans used to cry all the time about executive orders. They used to cry so much about them. Oh, Obama, no, it's an executive. They used to cry so much. They don't give a fuck. They've never given a fuck. They don't care. They don't care. Need you to weigh in on an N-word debate.
Wrong too.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm racist.
You said what?
I'm racist.
You're racist?
Yes. I hate nigger. I'm a nigger killer. I'm so sorry about that. But
what?
I love your girlfriend because your girlfriend is white people. I love her.
What?
Yes, that's true. I'm so sorry about that because I am.
Wait. I don't think you understand what you're saying. Do you speak English?
Yes, I am racist.
What? What the fuck? Oh, hell no. What the fuck is she saying? What?
She's honest about it.
Ailey, listen, do me a favor, will you? I got a hot date tonight with Connie. Knock on my door, wake me up in 20 minutes, all right?
Catnap?
No. This is evolutionary. I've been reading this book on Leonardo da Vinci. See, that means from vintage, you know that?
Must be some book.
Yeah, well, it turns out that the master slept only 20 minutes every 3 hours. Now, that works out to 2.5 extra days that I'm awake per week, every week. Which means if I live to be 80, I will have lived the equivalent of 105 years.
Not to mention how much more you'll accomplish.
Oh, I got a lot of things in the hopper, buddy.
I didn't know you had a hopper.
Oh, I got a hopper. A big hopper.
This is nice.
Yeah, morning.
Morning?
Yeah, what time is it?
10:30?
See, I got the whole night ahead of me.
All right. Breakfast?
Oh, yeah, most important meal of the day.
So this Da Vinci sleep is working out?
Oh, I'm percolating, Jerry. I'm telling you, I have never felt so fertile. I'm mossy, Jerry. My brain is mossy. Listen to this idea. A restaurant that serves only peanut butter and jelly.
What do you call it?
PB&J's. What do you think?
I think I need more sleep. Thanks for that 4 a.m. wake-up call last night. Where the hell is that jacket?
Oh, the one with the crest.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's at the cleaners.
The cleaners? How did it get there?
Well, I borrowed it last night and it got a little dirty.
Great.
Somehow I dozed off and woke up in a pile of garbage.
Somehow? You've had an hour and 20 minutes sleep in 3 days.
Well, so look, the cleaner said you could pick it up tonight at 6.
All right. Just hope I can get it to the Friars Club before the show.
Won't be a problem to work out.
Hey. Hey!
Watch out, boy.
Oh, Cosmo. Cosmo. Oh, Cosmo. Oh, honey, can you move a little? This hurts. Cosmo. Oh, my God. Cosmo, wake up. Cosmo. Oh, my God.
Okay, absolutely epic. Thank you. Okay. Do we have anything else?
In China, they build suicide nets. Is it possible that you're basing your opinion of the Chinese economy based on like news tidbits that you read 12 years ago that you haven't really like substantiated or followed up on. Like, yeah, you're doing the Western brain thing, like the thing where you pretend that Tiananmen Square is like a big deal to the average Chinese person. Like, if you saw a Chinese immigrant in America, you'd be like, hey, did they let you know about Tiananmen Square? As if, like, America didn't commit 50 trillion war crimes in Vietnam that the average American has no idea of, right? Which is apparently more acceptable for people to not know about because it happened to Vietnamese people rather than to Americans. What about the Chinese population?
He's so right, and he's also so wrong at some things. Like, I'm pretty sure we all know how bad Vietnam was. They've only made like 780 trillion fucking movies and talked about it a million times about how ashamed and horrible and like, I'm pretty sure Iraq was literally called America's Vietnam, and that wasn't supposed to be a favorable comparison, okay? That being said, a lot of Americans are, probably you guys included, are really weird / retarded about like, if you're an American and you go to fucking China, bro, they're gonna fucking abduct you, man. Like, they're gonna disappear. Like, bro, it's millions of Americans go every year. It's China. It's a massive this is a huge fucking country. No, you're not gonna disappear. It's not North Korea. Like, I think there are a decent amount of Americans that think that China and North Korea are probably very similar in terms of like how they treat foreigners or the level of like lockdown, or like it's not that fucking weird. So he's kind of like partially right, but he's a little bit autistic. But you know what? That's Vouch, you know?
Collapse, isn't that dangerous for the economy? Yeah. Oh, for sure. That's going to be a huge problem moving forward. Doesn't China use slave labor? I mean, we also do. I just don't know which.
Okay, I think that's kind of dumb, but we are becoming more similar to China, though. For instance, there's like 8 different states now where you can't fucking watch porn on your device anymore. So it just feels like freedom. Feels like freedom, man. I understand the argument that it will take a long time for the world to trust America again. This might be naive thinking, but isn't it obvious that all the instability and reckless policies are because of Trump, and that everything will return to normal after his term ends? No, because we are a democracy. So Trump is representing the will of the people. Trump won a democratic election. So the rest of the world would view America as being able to elect somebody like Trump again because we elected him once. It's not like a dictator is disappearing and everybody's like, oh my God, free and fair elections and a democracy and blah, blah, blah. It's like, who knows? Wait, Seinfeld bit about trying to make someone eat something.
Delicious.
Why? People do this shit too, where it's like, oh, you should try this. And I was like, no, I'm good. And they get like offensive or upset about it. Why do people do this? It's actually so fucking weird. It makes me want to actually like strangle somebody. Like, I just don't feel like trying your nasty fucking weird miso seaweed fish hybrid stew. Like, that's fine. Like, I might like it. I might enjoy it. I might be indifferent, but like, I didn't order that. I didn't order that. So why would I? Why are you like holding me emotionally hostage in trying it?
I'm not waiting for you. Take some.
No, thanks.
You're not gonna have any?
No.
Do you not like apple pie?
No, it's not that.
Well, at least taste it.
No.
Based.
You won't even taste it?
Based woman, yes.
No.
Queen.
Come on, try it.
She's a queen.
A little taste. Come on. She wouldn't so much as taste it.
She say why?
No, she wouldn't say anything. She just kept shaking her head like this.
Jerry. Hello?
Excuse me. I couldn't help but notice you offered her a piece of your pie.
That's right.
And you waved it away.
Right.
Did you give her a reason?
Yes. I was full.
You were full. So you gave a reason. You didn't just shake your head.
No, I'm not a psycho.
Exactly.
Unreal.
You're not a psycho. You've been very helpful. Thank you very much. Allow me to leave the tip. Well, I think we've proven who the psycho is.
We certainly have.
I can't believe your father owns this place. So, how are the desserts here?
Everything is delicious.
You've tasted them?
Mm-hmm. I think almost all of them.
Oh, I see they have apple pie.
Mm-hmm.
You've had the apple pie?
Many times.
Audrey, I gotta be honest with you. I'm a very curious guy. It's my nature. I need to know things. Not tasting the apple pie the other day. I can't get past it. You obviously like pies. You carry donuts in your bag. You're not averse to pastry. Surely you can see how such a thing would prey on my mind.
Can we drop this?
Why can't I know?
Poppy.
Sweetheart, hello.
Poppy, this is Jerry.
Well,
hello, Poppy.
Don't fill up on the bread. Eh? I'm making you a very special dinner. Very special.
The pies. I'm going to the bathroom. You know.
Jerry. Tonight, you're in it for a real treat. I'm personally going to prepare the dinner for you and my Audrey.
Wait, what happened? Oh, he didn't wash his hands? Uh-oh.
Jerry, you okay?
Huh?
Is anything wrong?
Nothing.
You look like you've seen a ghost.
Here it is.
Oh, wait till you taste this. Poppy, this is perfect.
Well?
Jerry, have some. You're not gonna
Wait, is she personal friends with this guy? Why wouldn't he warn her?
taste it? Jerry.
So she thought I did it
It's
to
her
get back at
dad.
her.
Oh,
Why don't
gotcha.
you just tell her?
Uh-oh.
I don't think it's the kind of thing you want to hear about your father.
Got it.
But I'll tell you, when he came out of that bathroom and he was kneading that dough, it was a wild scene. Hello.
What are you doing here?
So how was the pie?
What pie?
The apple pie you had today at Monk's.
I'm very busy here.
Pretty good, wasn't it? I told you should have tasted it.
You better not let Poppy see you here.
All right, I'm looking for someone named Poppy.
Who are you?
Board of Health, we've had several complaints.
Oh, about the,
You Poppy?
I'm a puppy.
I think you better come with me.
What's the problem?
What do they want from Poppy?
Well, Poppy's a little slumpy.
Absolutely fucking epic. Well memed, sir. Okay. Well, it's been fun. Oh, connections. Hold on. Four, ward, deposit. 2, put away, screen. 8, balance. Besides, horse transfer to boot. Had as well, took in, withdrawal. Okay, things you do or see about a bank account: deposit, balance, transfer, withdrawal. Wow, ATM options. All these things have 2 words in them. Fuck! Okay, just kidding. All right. Put away, screen, 8, 4. Besides, horse, word, to boot, had, as well, took in, and to. Okay, he put away some food. He ate it. He had this. He took in, like eating or like consumed. Yeah, okay. To boot, word, as well, besides. Oh. It's like he did this as well, and then he did this to boot. He did this too. I don't know if besides fits here, but whatever. It's probably dumb ways you can end a. Okay. Screen, horse, 4, and word. I don't know. What is this? Foreplay, horseplay, screenplay, and wordplay. Oh my god, I guess. Okay. I'm not entertained by random Chinese people being racist to speed. Please stop spamming these links. Oh my god. Okay. 940 plus, and Trump doesn't run for a 3rd term. Okay. No, not speed test. Sorry, fuck. He'll run for it and he'll be there for 1 day and then he'll get sick and die. Okay, there you go. All right. Be careful.